So the last couple of years, we've basically been teaching AI how to talk. But what happens when we start teaching it how to work? We are right on the edge of a huge shift, moving away from AI as just a conversation partner to AI as a full-on autonomous employee. And trust me, it's going to change pretty much everything.
So let's be real for a second. How do you actually use AI right now? You probably ask it questions, maybe get it to write an email, or brainstorm a few ideas. And it's smart, right? It's helpful. But at the end of the day, it's still a chatbot. A brilliant one, for sure, but it's passive. It's just sitting there waiting for your next command. And that limitation is exactly what we're about to leave in the dust.
And this really is the fundamental problem we've had. Today's AI is incredible for finding information, for generating text, but it can't actually do anything in the real world. It's stuck inside that chat window, totally disconnected from the actual software you use every day to get your job done. You could say it's a brain, but a brain without any hands.
This comparison really nails the massive leap we're about to take. We're moving from what we're calling the old way, this passive conversationalist that just answers your questions, to the new way. And let's be clear, this isn't just a slightly smarter chatbot. This is an active employee that can run with complex, multi-step tasks all on its own. So, this brings us to the hero of our story, the AI agent. And no, this is not just another fancy update or a new model. This is a complete paradigm shift. We're literally giving AI a job description, handing over the keys to our tools, and letting it get to work.
The engine that makes all this possible is something called an agentic workflow. Now, that might sound a little technical, but the concept is so important. It's basically the process where the AI stops just talking and starts actively doing, executing tasks one step after another right inside your everyday software. And it does this using a deep understanding of your project, with you just checking in every now and then.
Okay, so how does this actually work in practice? It definitely sounds a little like science fiction, I get it. But the reality is a surprisingly straightforward four-step engine that turns a general-purpose AI into your own personal specialist. Let's break it down.
First, you inject context. And I don't just mean a better prompt. I mean, you're dropping in the entire project folder, the brand guides, all the data from the last quarter. Second, you define the workflow. You give it a clear step-by-step plan, like 1. Analyze this sales data. 2. Draft 3 social media posts based on it. 3. Schedule them in our tool for next Tuesday. Third, the AI integrates directly with your apps. So it's not just talking about Google Drive, it's in your Google Drive, creating documents and spreadsheets. And finally, number 4, use supervise. You're not the one doing the clicking anymore. You're the manager, giving the final, yep, looks good before the work ships.
And this is absolutely crucial. We're getting past the point of arguing about whether GPT-4 is smarter than Gemini. That raw intelligence, it's becoming a commodity. The real game changer now is context. An AI that has read every document your team has ever created is infinitely more valuable to you than a supposedly smarter model that knows nothing about your business.
So you can imagine, when you give AI hands to do the work, and a deep memory of everything you've ever done, the impact goes way beyond just your personal to-do list. It starts to fundamentally change the entire structure of the economy, and of course, the job market.
You want to know the first major impact? Those technical barriers that have existed for decades are just dissolving. A marketing manager who's never written a single line of code can now just tell an AI agent, hey, analyze all this customer data and build me a visual dashboard. And the agent doesn't just give you tips, it literally writes and executes the Python code to make it happen. Wild.
This leads to something pretty staggering, a massive productivity disconnect. I mean, a two-person team with a really well-designed agentic system could genuinely produce the same amount of work as a 20-person department that's still doing things the old way. The amount of leverage we're talking about here is just, it's on a scale we haven't seen before.
And the ripple effects from this are going to be huge. First, you've got platform lock-in. The more of your company's context you pour into, say, the Microsoft ecosystem, the smarter it gets about you, which makes it incredibly difficult to ever switch over to Google or someone else. Then there's physical automation. This exact same smart software will be the brains behind the next generation of robots in warehouses, in fast food, you name it. And finally, new revenue models. You can bet that to help pay for all this, we're going to start seeing ads pop up right inside our AI conversations.
So, the big question is, what does this all mean for you and for your career? Because this isn't just some trend to watch from the sidelines. You've got to prepare for it. You need a whole new playbook to adapt, and frankly, to survive in this new economy.
Okay, here's the mental shift you need to start making. The old mindset, that was all about chasing the latest AI model and learning clever little prompt hacks. Forget that. The new mindset is about choosing an entire ecosystem, like going all in on Google or Microsoft based on where your data already lives. And your energy should be focused on curating and organizing high-quality files for your AI agent to learn from.
And this might be the single most important change for your career. Your value is no longer just about your ability to manually do tasks, to do all the clicking and typing. It's shifting to your ability to think like a systems designer, to be able to clearly define a problem and then design the workflow for an AI to solve it for you.
Now, before we all get too carried away with the possibilities, it is so important to understand that this new world is not without its risks. There are some hidden traps that you really need to be aware of if you're going to navigate this whole shift wisely.
First up, the context trap. Like we said, once you've fed years of your data into one tech giant system, switching to another one becomes almost impossible. Second, ad intrusion. Is the restaurant your AI recommends truly the best, or is it just the one that paid for an ad? We're going to have to be skeptical. Third, reliability. Let's be real. These agents will make mistakes. Human supervision is going to be absolutely critical for a long time. And finally, there's this weird thing experts call the jagged frontier. It's the frustrating reality that an AI can do a PhD-level task flawlessly and then completely fail at a super simple one. It's unpredictable.
So, all of this leaves us with a really fundamental question about our own future. As your job shifts away from doing the tasks and toward designing the workflows for the AI to do, what does that make you? Are you becoming a manager, just overseeing a digital employee? Or are you becoming a new kind of programmer, one who writes instructions not in code, but in processes? Something to think about.